Hey everyone, Asun now for the review. From the distillery, only 35 minutes from our house in New Jersey, and definitely shopping local and supporting local. We're going to review Asbury Park Distilling Company Double Barrel Bourbon Whiskey, 88 proof. This is batch 56, bottle 197. Now you saw the the beginning of the tour. I took some videos in there, sort of pictures, and you show a little bit of the question and answers I was doing during the distillery tour. Now, I did, when I was waiting for the tour, have this in an old fashioned, a double barrel bourbon old fashioned, and their cocktails are phenomenal. It's not really technically a bar in a sense. It's a bar, but it's really a tasting room because there's only one brand they're serving, and that's anything that Asbury Park Distilling Company makes. In fact, there's a little more specific rules when it comes to that, because I believe that they can only serve things that they actually produce there. And it's not like there's other brands. This is the brand. It's a tasting room. So, but I kind of pan the room. It's a really, really cute place. And they have a wonderful menu. I have to post a picture of that too. And the cocktail is phenomenal. This was a ridiculously good old fashioned, and I was still sipping on it when we started the tour. So this was the one I had, and I recall a while ago in a restaurant I did have this. I'm not sure of the distribution of this outside New Jersey, but certainly this is in plenty of liquor stores in New Jersey, this one and the other bourbon that I'm going to discuss in a minute, as well as restaurants. Now, again, so I would call this would be the signature one because this is the double barrel. The other one is a small batch. That one was not available for purchase, but I did get to try it. It is phenomenal. And that's only a twice a year release, I think like May, November or something like that. But I'm definitely going to be on their list to pick that up when it does come out, the next release. But this one is readily available. So this is the way this works. This is, as many whiskeys are, this is sourced from MGP. The bottle says bottled by Asbury Park Distilling Company, whereas the small batch, and I think some of the other products are actually just technically distilled there. So this is sourced from MGP. But what they do is they put their own fingerprint on it. So what I do is the whiskey, and I wasn't 100% clear on this. I think it's at least aged 2 years, but the lady who was giving our tour, it sounded like they're starting to actually age it a little bit longer. It sounded like it could be up to 4 years, but let's just call it 2+ years at least, probably more. But then what they do is they then finish it in a second barrel that was used to age barrel-aged gin. Now, that's different. So what it is I think that goes in for like a month, maybe more, definitely at least a month, in a barrel that was used to age gin. Now, just to stop right there, they produce a few spirits. There's a regular gin. I did buy a bottle of that. And then there's a barrel-aged gin. And obviously, if you look at the bottle, the regular gin is clear, just looks like the vodka. The barrel-aged gin looks very similar to this. It is brown-colored. And that is a very interesting thing. So the barrels that are used to age that gin, then that's the second barrel that they age, that they put this in for at least another month. So I'm expecting, I am not a big gin fan. I did taste gin there and it was actually very good. Best way I could describe it, the gin would be a lot of botanicals, juniper, maybe fruit, botanical flavor, something of that nature. I'm expecting that that's going to be reflected in this to some degree. But that's how this works. Just as a side note to the distillery, I believe Asbury Park Distilling Company is the first distillery in Asbury Park since Prohibition. And as far as the mash bill, I just looked this up. I forgot to ask it there, but I actually did look it up. If I'm correct, the mash bill on this is 60% corn, 36% rye, 4% malted barley. And that is a decent rye content in there. It is 88 proof. And from what I understand, it's aged in number 4 Char New American Oak barrels. That's the first barrel, and then it goes to the barrel aged gin, the barrels that were used to age gin for at least another month. Now, if that's correct, the char number 4 char, I mean that's what Wild Turkey's aged in. So that's a pretty heavy char, whereas the majority would be 3. So 4 is definitely a high char. And before we get into this, so what they do is they, aside from this which is probably the most easily available one, the double barrel. There's the small batch bourbon. Those are the two bourbons. They have the regular gin, they have the barrel aged gin, they have vodka, they have something called aquavat that I'm not familiar with, and I believe there's an espresso limoncello. So they're doing a lot of things, and this coolest thing is it's just right in the middle of a bustling neighborhood. It's 35 minutes from our house. We visited this distillery and then just literally walked a couple of doors down for dinner. It was just a great time, and I thank my wife for giving me this tour. Lots of fun. But now let's get down to the business, what it's all about. Let's just taste this neat, because I have not. This was in a cocktail, and the last time was a long time ago. So let's get this in a glass, and we're going to get this in one of these Asbury Park Distilling Company glasses they gave, and let's see what we got. Okay, so we got this in this wonderful glass. Really cool. I love the shape of this glass. I actually wanted to get something like this, and now I got it. It's a relatively light color. Again, I think also the fact of the second barrel. Remember, that was aging gin, not bourbon. So I think they may be imparting some lighter color, and I think that is probably going to be imparted in some of the flavors. So let's give this a nose. Interesting. This is completely a different type of a nose. I'm actually gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of getting like a spearmint, some botanicals, some sweetness. I mean, actually some fruit and sweetness, but I'm actually getting, I don't know, a little bit of spearmint. I can detect maybe a little bit of that gin influence, although I'm not a gin expert. Let's get right into the taste. Cheers. This is good. It's very good. I'm going to be completely honest with you, because this I'm actually trying neat, not a cocktail. I was a little hesitant, even when I tried the gin at the distillery. I was hesitant, and I thought it was really good because I'm just not really gin. It's just not my spirit. But when I tasted today, it was good. This is very interesting. You definitely know this is a bourbon. I definitely get some caramel. I do get some bourbon notes in there, but at the same time, I'm getting a little bit of that botanicals. You know, this does have some gin influence. Sugar. I know there's a term juniper. I kind of think that it's that. So it's got some floral. It's got some. I know that gin is kind of the botanical essence of it. It's clearly, to me, I mean, it does taste. It's so funny because I'm kind of wondering now. I probably should have got the barrel aged gin. It's kind of like inverted. You have the gin, which is then aged, in a barrel to get its darker color, and then that's done, and then you're taking the bourbon, and is then aged in a barrel that aged that gin. So it's interesting. You definitely have an imparting of those notes. I think it's very interesting. I'm going to be honest with you. What I was thinking initially about this with the gin influence. I was kind of like, oh, I don't know how that's going to taste. This is definitely unique. This is definitely this is I would say this is definitely an original taste, and I like the fact that this is what's really good about it. When distilleries like Asbury Park Distilling Company and others, no, nothing wrong in sourcing you whiskey, and nothing. Plenty of people do that from MGP, but it's made, it's disclosed, it's known. And what I like is when those distilleries, like these craft distilleries, like Asbury Park Distilling Company, they make their own footprint on the whiskey. So they're sourcing it, but then they're doing something on their own that's unique. In this case, it's aging it in a second barrel. That's where the double barrel is, in a barrel that was used to age gin. And it definitely makes this whiskey, Asbury Park Distilling Company's whiskey, and it just makes everything original with it. So this is really good, really nice, 88 proof, nice sipper. I'm gonna make my own old fashioned with this. We'll see how that goes. I doubt I can make it like them, but this was really fun. This is great. We'll definitely do other things with this, but you know what? It's nice also supporting our local businesses, local distilleries, shop local, support local, and thank you everybody for watching. Cheers. Take care.